Good morning, all of you. In today's session, we are going to start with the 10th standard chemistry and physics, unit 6, structure of an atom, series number 7. Earlier, we completed series 1 to 6 of the structure of atom. In that, we discussed about what are the subatomic particles present in that and what are the previous theories which are given for the explanation for the structure of atom. So all these were discussed in the earlier session. Today, we entered into the concept that is the modern theory of atomic structure, which is given by quantum mechanical conceptualization, right? That topic is going to be discussed in today's session. Mostly, this new and modern theory of atomic structure was laid by Erwin Schrödinger and Heisenberg. So based on these theories, how the structure of atom is going to be explained, that is going to be discussed today. So apart from this, in the previous units, unit 1 to unit 5 are available on the channel called the World of Competitive Chemistry. Detailed explanation and with the relevant examples, everything is available on the channel. Let us enter into our today's concept. First, we will start with one question. What is the chronology of atomic theories? So we discussed so many theories earlier. Then let us discuss what are the different theories. What is meant by chronology in general? Chronology is nothing but from inception onwards how the theories are growing in accordance with the evolution of science. So how the time passes, these atomic theories also modified and they got modernized. All these theories are arranged in their time manner. That is called a chronology of atomic theories. Now let us go with this atomic theory chronology. So atomic theory first given by John Dalton. His time duration is 1766 to 1844, and he laid the foundation for the atomic structure of an atom and given billiard model of the atom. So billiard model which is provided here. Billiard, this is the play game type of model, how the ball will be there in the same nature here atom is composed. So that theory was proposed by this John Dalton. He is the person first to lay the foundation for this atomic structure, and followed by J.J. Thomson. J.J. Thomson done cathode ray experiment and gave the theory of plum pudding model. So it is represented here how the plum pudding is nothing but watermelon will be there. Here electrons are floating in that and all the protons are like a juice present in that. That means the solid material present in that electrons are floating. So just like a watermelon here, J.J. Thomson model will be there, and it is also said as a plum pudding model. And next is about Arne Rutherford. Arne Rutherford done gold foil experiment. Based on this gold foil experiment, what he assumed, so entire region in the atom will be empty only except the small teeny particle of the central part that is composed of the nucleons. Nucleons are made up of protons and neutrons. Apart from that nucleus, in the remaining space, entire thing present in the atom will be empty in nature. So based on this gold foil experiment and based on the lines traveling through the center and the lines which are refracted, based on that theory, Rutherford gave this concept. And next is about Niels Bohr concept. It is about new concept. Most of the assumptions what we are studying now are framed based on this Niels Bohr theory only. So here this is little modified and now we are using this quantum mechanical model. Niels Bohr time duration will be 1885 to 1962. Spectra of atom. He gave the properties of that atomic structure based on the line spectrum of atom. So especially he considered hydrogen atomic model and purely focused on that properties based on that line spectra of hydrogen atomic model. So the Niels Bohr concept will be planetary model, how the sun is the central part and all the planets are revolving around the sun in their fixed paths called orbits. In the similar manner, here also atom central part is composed of nucleons and all electrons are traveling in their fixed orbits. In the same manner, that means a planetary model was given by Niels Bohr, but it is not extended to all the atoms except hydrogen. That's the reason why we need still modification. So here new invention, new theory of atomic model given by Erwin Schrödinger. 1887 to 1961, and followed by Werner Heisenberg 1901 to 1976. So these scientists framed the theory based on wave and uncertainty quantum model. The new theory was framed based on wave and uncertainty. So here electrons are having wave nature, and it is not possible to locate position and the speed of electrons simultaneously at the same time. And this is the model called a quantum mechanical model. Advanced atomic structure was given by these two scientists together. And these are the various models. You can say billiard model given by John Dalton. And next is about plum pudding model given by J.J. Thomson. And the next is about gold foil experiment done by Rutherford. The central part of the nucleus will be their empty space. So this kind of system was given by Rutherford. And the planetary model, like a solar system, here also we have atom composed of nucleons and revolving electrons, like a planetary model given by Niels Bohr. And the latest new innovation, that is a quantum mechanical model given by the combination of Erwin Schrödinger and Heisenberg. These two persons together developed the new theory. Let us enter into our today's concept. Our new, just now we discussed that Erwin Schrödinger and Werner Heisenberg framed the quantum mechanical model. That thing we are going to discuss today. Quantum mechanical model of an atom. So in order to enter into this, first we have to solve certain problems. So if we solve these problems, we will get a certain idea about this quantum mechanical model. So do the electrons follow the defined paths around the nucleus? This is the question. And I collected the answer from Brainly, from online platform. Electron can be any particle placed in the electron cloud. So always electron having the motion, so that there is a generation of electron cloud around that. So, and do not know where it is at any given moment. It is not possible to fix it exact location. So at this instance, it will be there at this position. Within fraction of time, it will be shifted, it will be migrated, so that it is not possible to locate the electron at particular instance. But according to Niels Bohr, we are having a fixed orbits. Orbits are nothing but, so that is the path of electron in which electron is traveling, and while moving, it will not gain energy, it will not lose energy in their fixed paths. So that is the concept given by Niels Bohr, in which electron does not absorb or radiate energy. Absorption and radiation of energy is not possible when it is revolving around the nucleus. So it doesn't fall into the nucleus because it is always carrying certain extent of energy, being it is a quantized one. And always it is energetic in nature, and does not fall into the nucleus. And it does not mean that electron is orbiting nucleus like a macroscopic object. Electrons are very tiny particles. They are not macroscopic in nature. Its motion has a quantum being. So while moving, always it is accompanied by certain extent of energy. Hence you can say quantum being. It is like a quantum being, means nothing but associated with certain extent of energy, right? Which doesn't allows us to say that electron follows a definite path around the nucleus. So based on this, we can't conclude that a definite path is not imparted for these electrons. There is a change in its momentum. So what theory given by Niels Bohr is slightly modified. So Niels Bohr said that fixed paths will be there. Those are called orbits. That concept is modified, that got advanced by this quantum mechanical model, where it is not possible to locate, it is not possible to identify the exact path of the electron at that particular instance, right? So here, do the electron follow definite path? Obviously, no. Quantum mechanical model of atom, and we are going with a certain questions again. If the electron revolves around the nucleus in the defined paths or orbits, exact position of the electron at various instants are well known to us. For that, we have to answer two questions. If so, we are going with the second way of thinking, that is nothing but if regular paths are present in accordance with the Niels Bohr. So we have to understand where that electron is present, because all the root of that electron is well known to us. Then it is very simple to locate where it is there. So after 5 minutes, where it will be, after 10 minutes, where it will be, after 1 hour, where it is moving. So in that way, we can locate that electron in different time instances if we know the regular path of the orbit. in that case, we have to answer two questions. What is the velocity of electron, and is it possible to find the exact position of the electron? Speed and momentum. So based on these two only, the theory called Heisenberg uncertainty principle was framed, right? So if they are following regular path of orbits, so what happens, we can understand where it is exactly located, because its path is well known to us. At particular instant, you can go and you can use a what electronic microscope and you can locate that electron, but it is not possible in practical sense, right? So if regular paths are present, we have to answer two questions. One is, what is the velocity of electron, and what is the exact position of the electron? In order to explain these two concepts, here the new theory called Heisenberg uncertainty principle was given. That is also the part of this quantum mechanical model of an atom. Now, what is the velocity of electron? So I collected this answer from Vedantu. Thank you. Complete step-by-step information is provided here. In order to solve the question, first we need to understand the Bohr's model. Bohr's model was given by Niels Bohr, and Rutherford also modified, enhanced its concept. According to this model, electron revolves around the nucleus. That is well known to us, consisting protons and neutrons in the circular orbits known as energy shells. So where the electrons are traveling, those are said to be energy shells. Can only orbit stably certain fixed circular orbit or discrete set of distances from the nucleus. One orbit and located in the certain distance, and a second orbit will be in the certain distance. Then only we can minimize the repulsive forces between the electrons, and the collapse of atom may not be possible because they are in the fixed positions and in the certain distances even. Let us see the formula for angular momentum. In order to calculate their velocity of electrons, we have to go with its angular momentum. De Broglie equation was considered. We can obtain the formula which is used in the calculation of velocity of electron. In order to calculate the velocity, mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi. N denotes what number of orbits. If you are taking one atom, for example, hydrogen, how many orbits will be there? Only one will be considered, because electron residing only one s orbital. M is nothing but mass of the electron. Mass of the electron is given by 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kilograms. V denotes what? Velocity of the electron, that we need to calculate. Velocity is only our intention to be calculated. R is nothing but radius of the orbit. R means radius of the orbit, that is 0.529 into 10 to the power minus 10 meters. H is the Planck's constant. Always it is the constant, and the value is 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 kilogram meter square per second, right? So here in this equation, mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi, that is given by Heisenberg. All the remaining terms are known except what? Except velocity. This v. mvr, v is required. That means velocity to be calculated. And here we have n is equal to 1, being it is a principal quantum number, that value taken as 1. H, Planck's constant, just now we discussed. Mass of the electron, radius of the electron. These are the terms well known to us. Let us substitute here. mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi, and we need v to calculate it. V is equal to nh by 2 mr pi. So velocity of electron is equal to nh by 2 mr pi can be taken. N is 1. Just now we know n is equal to 1, being it is a first quantum number, and h is the Planck's constant, 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34, that can be taken here. 2 is the integer value, need not to change. M is the mass, that is given by 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kilograms, that is multiplied with 3.14 here. And our radius is 0.529 into 10 to the power minus 10, that can be taken here. Pi value, what is pi value? 22 by 7, whose value is 3.14. 22 by 7 can be taken as 3.14 in the decimal values. So all are integers only. You can go with the calculation. Then you will get the velocity of electron. What is the velocity of electron? 2.18 into 10 to the power 6 meter per second. When it will be, what condition to be employed? When electron is present in the first orbit, because we are taking n is equal to 1, right? So if you substitute n is equal to 2, you can go with the second orbit of the electron. In that way, you can calculate for each and every orbit how the electron accompanied by its own energy, its own velocity, sorry. We are calculating velocity. Hence, the velocity of electrons in the first Bohr orbit. Why? Because n is equal to 1, we are considering. That's why first Bohr orbit will be 2.18 into 10 to the power 6 meter per second. So thank you for providing the information. And we are moving to second question. Is it possible to find the exact position of the electron? So can you find the exact position of the electron? Simultaneous determination of exact position and momentum of the electron is not possible. The Heisenberg uncertainty principle states that exact position and momentum of electron cannot be simultaneously determined. This is because electrons simply don't have the definite position and a direction of motion. Definite position will not be there, always it is revolving, and the direction is also not a regular path. So that because of these two conditions, you can't locate exact position of the electron. So first question answer will be, what is the velocity of electron? Velocity of electron is calculated as 2.18 into 10 to the power 6. What is the position? So in accordance with the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, at the same time, speed and momentum. If you are more particular about speed of the atom, speed of the electron, so it is not possible to calculate its momentum. If you are particular about the momentum of the electron, then it is not possible to determine speed of the electron. So in that case, simultaneous determination of momentum as well as position of the electron is not at all possible. That is given by Heisenberg uncertainty principle, right? So electrons are invisible because being these are very small in size, when compared to even protons and neutrons, the electrons are revolving around the nucleus, and these are very teeny particles. Then how can you find the position and velocity of the electron? So here at the atom location, so identifying the atom itself, it is a very difficult task. When these atoms are combined in the thousands, hundreds, and more than that, then only we will get the molecules which are visible to us. So that molecule, when bisected into very tiny particle, then only it is converted into an atom. Atom being it is the smallest one. Then at subatomic particles like electrons are always it is very difficult to visualize them, because there is no certain device. Under normal condition, there is no certain device in order to locate these, in order to identify these electrons. That's the reason why, being these are very teeny particles, these are said to be invisible in nature. And because of invisibility, it is not possible to identify what will be the position, what will be the speed of these electrons. Then there is a solution for this one. To find the article during the night, we have to take the help of torch. By using torch, it is possible to locate what are the objects present in the dark. So under normal conditions, you are not able to see anything in the dark room. But in torch or any kind of light, using it, so you identify what kind of object is there, right? In the similar electron microscope is used to visualize the smallest tiny particles called electrons. Similarly, we can take the help of suitable light to find the position of the velocity of the electron. So such kind of device is required called electron microscope. As the electrons are very small, as the electrons are very small, light of very short wavelength is required to identify, to locate these electrons. So electron is an electron microscope have the shorter wavelength than the visible light, which is why they can resolve the smaller things. Visible light has the wavelength ranging from 7 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter red to violet color. Electrons are typical electron microscope have the wavelength measured in picometers. So less than this visible wavelength we are going to use, so that it is possible to locate these electrons by using this instrument called electron microscope. And here its wavelength is measured in terms of picometers. So picometers are the units for the smallest particles. For that purpose we are using them, right? And let us move on to another concept. quantum mechanical model we are discussing in this. A short wavelength interact with electron speed and position will be deviated when we are locating this wavelength upon the electron. When electron is influenced by this wavelength what we are giving, what happens, that electron will change its position and change its speed even, because that is given by external energy. That's the reason by speed as well as position of the electron got deviated. Hence, the position and momentum of the electron not accurately measured simultaneously. This is a conclusion what we got from this experiment, right? So these are the location of electrons under electron microscope conditions. If 40 electrons are present, they are represented in this manner. 200 electrons can be represented like this. 2000 electrons when taken, they are distributed in this manner. I collected this information from Lumen Physics. Thank you. And this is a concept called Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Just now we discussed that it is not possible to locate position and velocity of the electron simultaneously. That is the theory called Heisenberg uncertainty principle. It is mentioned in the equation form. Delta x delta p greater than is equal to h by 4 pi is equal to h by 2, right? Uncertainty. X denotes what? Uncertainty in the position. And P denotes uncertainty in the momentum. Uncertainty is nothing but randomness. Randomness of the position into randomness of the momentum is greater than is equal to h by 4 pi, which is simply known as h cut by 2. The more accurately, if you are identifying the position, if the position is well known to you, then what happens? Very less accurately, it is calculated its momentum, and vice versa. That means if you are more accurate about position, you can locate the electron position exactly. For example, then speed is infinity. That will be very unknown to us. Then if you are accurate about momentum, that speed is well known to you, then it is not possible to locate its position. So that is called the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. And what is the conclusion? From the above discussion, it is very clear that electrons do not follow the definite paths in an atom. So fixed orbit concept is not at all correct based on this new concept called the quantum mechanical model. So here definite paths are not present. So at any instance, there may be deviation in the position, there may be deviation in the momentum. So that is given by Heisenberg uncertainty principle, right? Now, we have another question here. Do atoms have the definite boundary as suggested by the Bose model? So atoms are fixed paths and fixed dimensions will be there. Is it possible to get that fixed dimensions in accordance with the Bose model? I collected this answer from Brainly. Thank you. Niels Bohr suggested that electron in an atom were restricted to specific orbits. So there are fixed boundaries will be there. And atoms around the nucleus. Bohr argued that electron is given in the atom has a constant energy. So while moving, it neither absorbs nor releases energy, right? So that's the reason why all the orbits are quantized in nature. They are having constant energy in accordance with the Bohr's model. Thus, he named these orbitals as the energy levels. Different energy levels will be there. N1 level, N2 level, N3 level, in that way. Here, when you take the hydrogen atom, for example, so this will be the distribution of electron cloud around the nucleus. So it is possible to locate the radius in between the two adjacent hydrogen atoms. So by this, you can conclude that it is possible to locate, it is possible to identify definite boundary of an atom, right? So it is possible. Now, move on to another concept. One contrary question was given to us. Again, it is a continuation of quantum mechanical model only. If the electrons are not distributed in the orbits around the nucleus, this means that atom does not have the definite boundary. So here fixed orbits are not present. Then fixed boundaries are present or not. As a result, it is not possible to pinpoint the electron in an atom. So here exact position, exact momentum are well known to us, right? So that's the reason why how can we mention the definite boundary to the atom? So that is the contrary question we got here, right? So under these circumstances, in order to understand the properties of electron, quantum mechanical model of atom was given, which is given by Schrodinger, Erwin Schrodinger. So this contrary question is well solved by the scientist called Erwin Schrodinger. That is called a quantum mechanical model of an atom, right? So by this, whatever questions we have, ambiguity we have, that is completely cleared by this Erwin Schrodinger. So what is a quantum mechanical model? It is the new concept which is the advanced one when compared to the earlier atomic structure models. Quantum mechanical model suggests that a quantum mechanical model is the most advanced and accurate model of the atom used today by the chemists and physicists. In this model, electrons do not exist as at any points inside the atom, but instead surround the nucleus in the form of resembling a cloud. They're used to form a cloud around the nucleus. So just like how here it is clearly mentioned, here when you take 1s orbital, being it is a spherical, 1s orbital is said to be a spherical, right? Here it is clearly mentioned. So here electrons are not having fixed path. One road map will not be there. Instead, they're used to form a cloud around the nucleus. So certain time, at certain time, that will be in the particular position, and that will be shifted to another position. In that way, that used to form a cloud around the nucleus by its momentum. So that kind of electron cloud is represented here, 1s, 2s, and 3s orbital. As we know that as the quantum number increases, principal quantum number increases, size of the atomic orbital also increases. In the similar manner, 1s orbital being it is teeny, 2s will be somewhat larger, and 3s will be still enlarged one. In this way, instead of regular path of the atom, there is a new concept in accordance with the quantum mechanical model called a cloud. Electron cloud is originated around the nucleus because of its movement around the nucleus. According to this model of the atom, instead of orbits of a Bohr's model, the electrons thought to exist in the particular region of the space around the nucleus at that particular instant of the time. So we are used to discard that fixed paths of the orbits. Rather, they're used to form a cloud around the nucleus. So you can locate that electron in this electron cloud region only at that particular time, right? So what do we call the region of the space where the electron might be present at that particular time, right? So here, that used to generate the cloud around the nucleus. That electron cloud is said to be a orbital, right? The new concept, orbit concept, was now modified into orbital concept. Now let us see what is meant by orbital. The region of the space around the nucleus where the probability of finding the electron is maximum is said to be a orbital. So here, for example, if you take 1s orbital, the electrons are revolving in this manner. You can find maximum probability of the electron in this space only, in this region only. So when you go to this 2s, here it is somewhat bulged one, somewhat larger one. So where electron cloud can be located in this. So this entire region where the maximum probability of electron finding is there, that is said to be orbital. So here, Bohr's orbit concept now modified into orbital concept by Schrodinger by the concept called a quantum mechanical model, right? Now we are going to differentiate between orbit and orbital concept. So differences are going to be discussed now. Orbits are nothing but a planar motion of the electron. Orbital where the three-dimensional motion of the electron around the nucleus. Orbit are said to be a circular in the space. Bohr's model given this circular paths for the movement of electrons. In case of orbital, they are different in shape for different orbitals. If you take S orbital, it will be spherical. For p orbital, dumbbell will be there. D orbital, double dumbbell will be there. In that way, orbital will be different for different orbitals. It is a well-defined orbit will be a well-defined path for revolving. The electrons follow the around the nucleus. Around the nucleus, you will have the fixed path. So in that fixed path, electrons are traveling how planets are traveling around the sun in the solar system. So in case of orbital, it is simply a region of the space around the nucleus where the electrons are present. You can find these electrons. You can locate this cloud of electrons around the nucleus. That is called the orbital. orbit theory doesn't satisfy the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. So here momentum and position of the electrons are not possible to locate simultaneously is the concept of Heisenberg. That is not at all explained by the theory called orbit concept. In the orbit concept, if regular paths are there, it is very easy to locate the electron. But Heisenberg theory was not satisfied by this orbit concept. When you are considering orbital concept completely complies with the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. So it obeys the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Orbit concept can accommodate 2n electrons in the shell, where n denotes what? Number of orbits. 2n square is the empirical formula in order to fill the electrons into the subshells. Only 2 electrons can be present in the orbital. So maximum capacity of any orbital, that may be s orbital, that may be p orbital, that may be d orbital, maximum capacity of holding electrons will be only 2. Orbit, the planar motion of electrons can be designated by KLMN values. In case of orbital, 3D motion of the electrons are given by s orbital, p orbital, d orbital, and f orbital. So these are the distinct properties of orbit and orbital. So by orbit concept developed by Niels Bohr, orbital concept developed by new quantum mechanical concept, that is the contribution of both Heisenberg uncertainty as well as Erwin Schrödinger, right? So by this series 7 of this unit 6 structure of atom was completed. I think this session will be helpful for your preparation. Thank you very much for your consistent listening. Thank you one and all.